Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to KliqThisTV.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
Kevin, it seems like just yesterday we were talking about blood work, right? And we were talking about I had some questions. We were talking about testosterone is what we were talking about, actually. I was asking about like that over-the-counter T stuff. So I got some blood work, my 6-month or whatever the hell it's been blood work. My testosterone is 610. How am I doing?
Good.
My doctor said it was fine.
Mine was 580 last time.
Well, I'm 30 points the man you are, motherfucker.
What was your cholesterol?
I don't remember. I don't have it with me, but she was reading it all. She was reading it all off to me. But
you need to look at your cholesterol.
Yes, she did, and it was apparently within range. That was never my the cholesterol wasn't my issue. It was the triglycerides.
And what were your triglycerides at?
You know what? They didn't put it in the report, so I have to go back for the lipid panel.
Yeah, because you don't. That's again. I'm going over with this with another person in my life that just does not take fucking responsibility for their health.
I went. I gave them my arm and my blood.
Fucking make sure that you get a lipid panel. You get there's the size of the lipids. You need to know there's a whole if you're going to pay for it, your insurance is going to cover some of it. There's things. Doesn't matter how big you could have. An HDL count of 70, but if the actual the HDL itself was small particle, it isn't going to move a giant big LDL. It's not. So you're going to get you're going to get blockage.
But it was the lab's error in not putting or testing what my doctor had ordered. So she rewrote it and said, "Here, I'm specifically just sending for."
Are they going to send an Escalade to pick you up to go get it done, or you're going to have to drive your own vehicle through your own time?
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm going to have to invest the time. But listen, I wasn't happy about it.
Why don't you do this? Why don't you tell them, since you fucked up, why don't you send somebody to my house to come take my fucking blood?
I'll try that.
All right.
I'll try that. For me, I'm not 6'10". For me, it's a little like, what?
What do you mean you're not 6'10"? Doesn't matter you're 6'10". They fucked up. Why should you fucking give them a buddy system on a fuck up? You painted my house gray. I said I wanted it white. Fuck it.
Agreed. You know why? You know why? Because I'm beaten down by the world, Kevin. And I just feel like, am I going to fight this battle? Is this what I'm going to do?
Fight them all, man. Because you never know. If you don't fight this one and you die in your sleep, fucking, how'd you go down?
Well, no, I went to my pulmonologist, and my
you
apnea
went down like a palooka.
My pulmonologist said I'm doing great with my apnea. That was good news with that. You need to get that. You need to start wearing the mask.
I don't need to wear the mask until I do my fucking sleep study.
You need to do the sleep study, and then you need to wear the mask. You're talking about the kind of snoring that killed Reggie White.
Yeah, but you can snore. I talked to a friend of mine that's in the cardiology field. He said, dude, if you have a 20-inch neck, you've got apnea. So
I'm assuming you have a 20-inch neck.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I probably have. I mean, I'm going. I have to do 2 nights in a row. There's just a ring you put on your finger,
Yes.
and you set your Bluetooth. So I have to do that, but I can't do it with me tomorrow going for a nuclear stress test.
You cannot.
And all that because I won't fucking sleep. I just drove basically a 12-hour day to go pick up a car yesterday that was not what I expected when I got there. And then today I've been battling with those fucks. So
for the sleep test, they give you the thing. They kind of tape it onto your finger so it doesn't come out in sleep. There's a couple of nodes on your chest.
That's not what I have.
Well, mine was, and it had a little like a machine that was recording
How many years ago was this?
3.
Yeah, that's new technology.
So I'm supposed to lay there, and you want to know what a gavone I am? I'm supposed to lay there and just go to sleep with this. So now psychologically I have stuff on me, right? So the claustrophobia kicks in. It's like I'm never going to sleep. So what do I decide to do? What do I think would be a fine gauge of my apnea before I fall asleep? I said, let me eat to relax myself. So I get up after not being able to sleep 1 o'clock in the morning with this machine. I haul downstairs with my taped finger and my nodes on my chest, and I'm making a sandwich. I'm eating, standing in the kitchen, laughing to myself what this fucking thing is going to read like when my pulmonologist looks at it. Then I finally went back to bed. But I went from, my reading was 44, my index was 44, which means 44 cessations of breath an hour, and I'm down to 1.1. So he said I'm out of stroke danger. Do your sleep study.
I'm gonna do my sleep study. I'm on Eliquis until I do it. Eliquis, which is a blood thinner, it'll stop me from having a stroke. It's not like I'm on top of it. I'm not going to do it.
No, you're the most on top of it health-wise person that I know, and this is the one thing that I could stand here like your dad and wave my finger and say, do your sleep test. You have to take this seriously. So I'm enjoying it.
You can't.
I'm enjoying it.
You can't, because I'm aware of it. I've got it all set up. I've just got to get through my stress test first. It's just I won't fucking sleep tonight.
Because of the impending. If you do this. No. So do this first.
You got to do. Yeah, because I don't know what if I'm going to hear bad news, good news.
I think you'll get good news. You take care of yourself very well. You monitor your blood.
When your dad dies at 36, man, you're going against the fucking king of all kings. You're going against fucking the metabolic syndrome X. You're going against genetics.
But had he had the kind of testing available to him that you do, there would have been red flags that came up. Did you ever have a plaque test where they check the buildup in the arteries? Is plaque the right word?
But plaque doesn't matter.
Calcium?
Yeah, that doesn't matter either. It's the pliability. It's if you have soft plaque. A soft plaque breaks, and that's what causes strokes and heart
that's
attacks.
what they test for, right? When they do the
it's the only gold standard for if you want to get your heart checked is to have them fucking go in with a fucking catheterization and fucking go through your heart.
Ooh.
That's the only fucking the second best is a nuclear PET scan, which I'm having tomorrow.
Well, good luck with it.
Thank you.
Kevin, I had
worst that could happen is I could die. So
during the test.
Well, I got to do a stress test. My knees are so beat up I can't. So they give you an injection that puts your heart at fucking. And you talking about a feeling? Whew.
Oh, this isn't the one where you run on the treadmill, or?
No, I can't run on a treadmill. So I have to fucking lay down and be administered a fucking drug.
Okay.
So basically, it's I'm fucking going over to Joey Diaz's and doing a fucking 8.5 foot line of fucking a big gagger just to get my heart up to see how that looks under a nuclear fucking scan. So
I didn't know he was getting into the medical field. I'm kind of glad to hear that.
Yeah,
Coco's spreading it out.
Talented guy.
So I had some contractors come over to do my floors. Now, I was lamenting to you. You very kindly reached out to me. You said, how's it going? And I said, Kev, I can't. I had to move everything out of the living room, dining room, into the kitchen. The back deck covered with tarps. A fucking piano was involved in this move. So they come over. They start working, and so Joe comes in. That's my floor guy. He did my upstairs a couple of years ago. He walks in. He's now burned over like 90% of his body. His arm's in a sling. I'm like, how the fuck is this guy going to do floors? So his guys walk in afterwards. This hairy little man. And then Frank, who's probably retired, probably drove a truck or something. He's helping out Joe. So Frank walks into the house and almost knocks me down from the smell of weed. So, now, you keep the workers happy, you get a good job, right? So one of our advertisers, as you know, in the cloud, sent us some pre-rolls. Now, I'll do the edibles, I don't do the pre-rolls. So I slip those in my pocket for the right time to slide up to Frank and say, hey, listen, Frank, you smoke? Here, try these out. Let me know, because I have to go on the air, and I'll give you a recommendation. He goes, I'm a connoisseur of this stuff. I said, perfect.
Do you guys have medical marijuana or recreational in New Jersey?
Yeah, we have recreational. So you just go buy it. So I said to Frank, he goes, where do you get this from? What show are you talking about? I said, I have a show with an athlete. There's usually a few hurdles when people ask me about my doings in life before I get to wrestling. And so I say, I have a show with a professional athlete. Who's the athlete? What is it? I'll listen to it. So I don't know if you ever heard of Kevin Nash. He goes, Kevin Nash. He goes, my wife used to wait on him. So I'm like, so did everybody. So I go, where? He goes, Daytona. So I'm like, okay, getting warmer, Frank. So my first question to Frank is, what were you doing in Daytona? He's like, I was down there for 24 years. I said, yeah, on the run? He goes, everybody says that about Florida. He goes, I asked a cop one time. He said they get about 600 fugitives a year. They all go to Daytona. So he goes, tell him Kerry said hi. What did he say? Eight egg whites, eight eggs, egg white omelet. I said, yeah. So that sounds like Kev. So do you remember the diner or?
Yeah, it had to be. It was called New York Bagel Diner. Okay.
He's like, I forget the owner's name. He knew the owners. So yeah, the appendages of Kliq this touch all aspects of my life sometimes.
So you couldn't have called two guys in a truck and had them move that shit?
I'll tell you what. Yes, it was my plan. When he was going to come do this, I was going to get the movers to move the shit. I'm going on the air last week. Literally, the credits are rolling. My wife texts me, Giovanni's coming tomorrow. So now I'm trying to do the show open. I'm looking and I want to debate this. And by the time I was off the air, what am I going to do? Joe's coming tomorrow. So actually coming Saturday.
Does your wife have that kind of veto power in the house?
When I'm busy on the air and she knows she's got me by the nuts, my nuts are hammered to the seat for 2 hours.
Who helped you move the shit?
She did. I felt awful.
My God.
I said, you can't do this. I said, you don't understand. You're going to get... First, she said, I was supposed to go to a wake last week. She goes, just go. I'll do it with the kids. I said, I'm going to come home, and there's going to be 3 people dead under a piano. You're not doing this.
Do you have a grand or a stand-up?
This is a stand-up, yeah. But it's still a motherfucker.
Well,
What's
I know.
inside those fucking things.
I remember carrying one upstairs in my brother's house with my brother. Of course, me at the bottom of the steps.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm fucking picking this thing up. I'm like, holy. After the age of 25.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but you fucking get a herniated disc because Joe's coming the next day.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you lose fucking... You fucking lose your fucking ability to hold your bowels. You're in a fucking permanent diaper.
Yeah, not with my 6'10" testosterone, no, Nash.
Yeah, but what was your estrogen? Fucking
I don't know.
1,200?
Are these titties giving me away?
1,200?
Kevin, but this turns out to have been the least of my worries with the week in the news. Is everything imploding at once? I just feel each horrible thing that happens gets less and less press because of the next horrible thing that's happening.
No, it's not. So to me, Russian drones overshooting the Ukraine and going into
Poland,
into a NATO country.
So this is a fine place to start. Go ahead.
Who's fucking the president of fucking Poland was just in the White House 10 days ago, and Trump said to the guy, "You pay the most percentage of your GDP towards the fucking NATO. We have your back." So if anybody, like the one person you shouldn't fuck with is Poland, because Trump has already stated, you fucking did what I asked.
Right.
And what does fucking Putin do?
Flies the drones.
And then, of course, it's oh, yeah, but the Ukrainians have fucking radar blocking, so, okay, but how about the fucking 3 that went into Belarus, which is fucking on Putin's side? It wasn't like they sent those back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and the thing is, so the drones cost Russia $20,000 to build, and they shot them down with a German Patriot missile system, and the missiles are like $1 million and change. So you're shooting down a $20,000 fucking drone with a $1 million missile. So
that's some interesting math.
Yeah, but at the same time, what does the $20,000 drone do in damage? So
sure.
To me, it's one of those deals where it's time to shit or get off the pot. Like, we still haven't. It's I get it. 2 weeks ago, we were thinking about doing sanctions. Donald, the 2 weeks are up. We got to do something with Russia.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking. It's like, come on.
Well, he's a bit of a pussy, though. So, yeah, I mean, you can't really expect.
Talk's tough. I mean, when it comes down to fucking getting a $1 billion fucking destroyer to take out 11 drug runners in a fucking outrigger canoe, because anybody that's ever fucking moved drugs knows that the one thing you do is make sure that 90% of the weight that's in the boat is human, not the actual drugs you're moving.
Right. 11 200-pound men.
Yeah.
That would account for a few kilos.
Yeah.
So right, so you have this, like, we're on the precipice of war now that a NATO country's been breached.
In the meantime, the country that has been working on the Hamas Israel peace talks has kind of been navigating that. Qatar gets Doha, which I've actually been to the city. They get fucking hit by Israel because they've got a couple of Hamas fucking operatives in there.
Okay, so there's the next piece that I was going to bring up,
which is just so happens to be where we have our Middle East fucking operations center in Doha.
Our hub, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, bullets begin flying here on the mainland. We had another high school shooter in Denver,
right,
who dies of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but not before wreaking terror and havoc on innocent high school students.
What was the final count on that one?
It's, I don't know where we're at right now.
Exactly, because it's so
good luck finding it.
It's so everyday common.
It's a weekday, so there's got to be a school shooting somewhere.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Charlie Kirk, the political, I don't know, pundit or just YouTuber.
He's a right wing, very, 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 very right wing. He's a podcaster.
I see him on. I get him on. He pops up on Instagram.
He's an influencer.
So he gets assassinated.
Yep.
From. See, what I thought initially was an impressive, weird word, a difficult distance, let's say, to hit a target at, which was 200 yards. But I brought that up to you, who is ex-military and I'm not, and you said, no, I could do it. I could do much further with less sophisticated, without a scope, right?
So what you've got is a shooter who had, again, much like the shooter that got the shot off at Trump in Pennsylvania, you've got a guy that's on top of a bill. I mean, what does it cost? I'm not talking about for like a war drone, but isn't there like a $7,000 drone that a college could have that they could maybe, before somebody shows up, they could maybe just, I don't know, scan the campus and see if there was somebody on one of the rooftops or one of the buildings, like especially directly in front of the speaker? I mean, is that asking too much? I mean, I know it's Utah, but...
Well, but they were even... The numbers I saw when I saw the report, maybe it's new information's come out, the 3,000 attendees,
right,
and 6 officers to police the crowd of 3,000. This seems to me, not having law enforcement experience, to be a very low number.
Well, no, because he does these all the time. He does these events all the time on campuses.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just, and as shitty as this sounds, and I don't mean it to be, for him it was just a fucking Wednesday.
Yeah. But should there not have been more of a law enforcement presence?
What would they have done? It wasn't like it was Anwar Sadat and somebody ran up with an AK-47 and shot during a parade into the fucking parade box.
Well, because of the distance you're saying, but maybe he could have policed it. I guess that also this isn't Secret Service. This isn't. He's not a politician. This isn't an elected official that would get that kind of.
Congress doesn't get protection. Johnson gets it because he's third in line. So you got a guy that's got a bolt-action weapon with a scope, and not a professional shooter, because, and this is just the hypotheticals that from the little bit of news that I've gotten and information on the shot, and then watching unbelievably for 20 minutes every iPhone and Android that was in 4 miles of the shooting show me the clip of the guy being killed.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked to me like he probably preset that scope at maybe 100 yards. And when he got ready to take the shot, everybody knows that what a trigger on a weapon looks like, but it's not, the piece of metal isn't straight. The piece of metal is like a half, not a half moon, but like a sliver of a moon. It has there's a circulation where your finger fits into the groove, and if you know if you've shot long distance before, your fingertip is towards the bottom of that trigger, because that's where you pull, you breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, hold, and then you pull until you get the shot. And you pull nice and slow. And it looked to me like this kid pulled high on the trigger, and he probably being
Explain
set,
to me what that does. If my finger is literally higher on the trigger than toward the tip,
it's gonna because
it raises the rifle.
Well, it's gonna raise the round because it's gonna take more pressure. You're not gonna. It's just not. Yeah, that's probably. I would say that the sight being off was probably a 4-inch pull, and him pulling high on the trigger was probably another 4-inch pull upwards. So he basically was going for a center mass left chest shot, and ended up hitting him in his carotid artery or one of his
because of that 8-inch error that you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So with the trigger, because of the just naturally anything, if you pull further down, it's like choking up on on a bat or swinging the bat low.
It's gonna it just takes, and that's all shit you learn.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is you can become very proficient, at anything with putting in enough time. I mean, there's probably not a guy listening that can't jerk himself off better than any other human that he could talk through, because we've all been pulling our knobs since we were 5.
Of all the coverage I've seen of this, that's the most enlightening. Like, I haven't seen that.
Nobody really
position.
covers the knob.
No. I was hoping
the proficiency of jerking off and going out and putting 200 rounds down range.
Van Jones, like nobody I saw, none of the talking heads covered that.
They're not going to. Because I guess I'm the only person on earth that jerks off because I'm the only one that talks about it. Everybody else like, "Whoa, no, I don't need to do that." Really? Okay.
People say that?
Yeah, people,
Because that's a bravado. They obviously don't have testosterone of 610 if they're saying that they don't need to release. Kevin, in all this, though, with the bipartisan wishes, I'm not talking about the trolls that go on and take every opportunity to, but people of consequence, leaders, elected officials from both parties, the denouncing of political violence, it's good to at least see that unification there. We don't always get that. I know the Paul Pelosi thing, there was some...
yeah, but I mean...
Minnesota House Speaker, what was it, Hortman, that got killed? Was it
when they shot him right there at the house? They killed him at the house.
And her husband, there was some Marxist. That's what you get for being a Marxist from some of our friends on the other side of the aisle.
Yeah, but see there wasn't an optic to that. Like, this guy got shot, and everybody is basically anybody that's wanted to watch this person be killed has watched it, and it's. I think that anybody that sees somebody killed in real time, they have these Jerry Bruckheimer fucking
visions of what it's like when it happens. But what I'm saying is, it's still to see no politicism. Well, we do see politicization. Trump has already said that the liberals made this happen, all that. But people of consequence, he's a buffoon and an asshole. But people of consequence on both sides of the aisle have come out and denounced political violence. It's good to see that. We need that kind of consistent message. Not there's good people on two sides, on both sides, and when it goes one way or the other, or...
I am in no way. Like, when my wife told me about it yesterday, I didn't go, "You're kidding me." Like, I wasn't surprised at all.
Well, we've sat through one attempt on Trump's life, and then someone in a bush who potentially could have done it during at the golf course again. So, And we're primed for this, like you said before. It's the school shootings
But I mean,
seemingly every week.
I think this particular
Specific to him, you mean?
Yeah, I think that he really, I mean, from the Minnesota incident, him and Van Jones have went back and forth, and he's questioned Michelle Obama's intelligence and other people's. I mean, he pushes the buttons. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where, like Bannon's one of those guys that pushes buttons. Like, do we really have somebody on the left that does that? I mean, Jesse Waters from Fox News last night said, well, they've went ahead and done it. They've started it. We need to go to war with these people. And we don't even know who the shooter is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, but he wants the guy from MSNBC to be fired immediately, yet he's instigating and throwing fuel on this national divide that we already have. Mm-hmm. And I think when it comes down to it, provocative talk, to somebody that has a degree of intelligence is you accept it, you fucking, you put it through your brain and you're just like, fuck him. But if you're some fucking,
You're people that are more easily swayed.
Well, yeah, if you're a mouth-breathing 60 IQ guy, and
some call like a very specific call like that, Kevin, should be punishable under law for inciting.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think Jesse Waters should be held accountable for running his dick sucker.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
All I know is there's two little girls sitting somewhere right now and a wife. I know the wife's intelligent enough to know that her husband was putting himself in harm's way. But those little kids, man, like they're.
Yeah, that's the first place.
It's going to be a long time for them to be able to put those pieces together. And then to have basically your father's death archived.
On video, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrific.
Yeah, but that's the world we live in.
It is.
And to me, it's just like, I would have loved to have, like, debated and jousted with him, because he was smart, He was a fucking smart dude. And he knew how to push buttons. And on top of that, he went to these colleges, and basically he was like a heavyweight champion in his cause, and these idiots that are 7 hours out of high school would try to
engage with him.
Yeah, try to spar with him, and it was,
Well, I hope here we are again. I hope the bullshit ends. It's
not going to. I mean, when you've got a administration that is giving high fives to each other as they go into a Korean automobile plant and find 400 Korean auto workers or workers that are involved in some form of kind of bringing along technology, and they just, it's like, wow, what are the chances that you'd find 400 Koreans at a Hyundai plant?
Aren't they moving all the fentanyl? Aren't those the ones? Aren't we going to put the dent in that number?
I don't think that
the Hyundai plant?
They're not moving as much as the Canadians. I mean, that Canadian fentanyl fucking, I think they moved a kilo last year across that border. No, it's just.
Listen,
Washington, you know what? Washington D.C. is a safer place, much cleaner anyway. Washington D.C. is a much cleaner place. So,
if they're moving that much fentanyl, they will not be able to conceal it in their perfect gene, Kevin, because of the fit. It would be visible.
You could put it in your pockets and carry it on the boat with the other 11 guys.
Right, because that's all you could get on there other than the 11 guys is about a pocket full. You'd see it because these are stretchy and comfortable. I'm wearing my perfect jeans right now, Kevin. Let's see here. See that? Stretch?
Are you wearing a cup?
What's that? No.
Is that all you?
What's that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby. That's me. Sorry, did it drop out?
I was putting you over.
That's the testosterone.
It's not high testosterone level. You're semi all the time.
Yeah,
you're fucking. You've been getting up for fucking the last fucking 3 years and chewing a BLUECHEW, just grinding that son of a bitch, and then following it with a Percocet and a cup of coffee, and then not eating until 2.
And it looks good. It looks no better than in my perfect gene, Kevin.
Exactly.
It's listen, fall's about to make your dressing a full-time struggle. Okay, we're going to have to go a little heavier as the weather gets cooler here, and most jeans just can't hang with your look, but the perfect jean is here to end your denim difficulties with jeans that make getting dressed feel like one of those damn I look good and didn't even try moments, because the super soft fabric blend I'm talking about, that's the holy shit moment when you first slide them on. They're stylish enough to wear, whether it's office casual or straight up casual with a t-shirt. They have great t-shirts also, and over 500,000 men agree with me when I say this. You should never settle for subpar jeans, okay? Waist sizes from 26 to 52, lengths from 26 to 38, 6 different fits from skinny to thick, and 13 different washes. All those combinations, you will be able to pick your perfect jean. And don't forget what I said. We've got t-shirts, stretchy ones to put in there, and they don't just stop at jeans, is what I'm trying to say. All right, everything I've tried from them fits perfectly. Okay, free shipping always, exchanges and returns. So that's peace of mind. Finally, time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans. So go to theperfectjean.nyc. Our listeners get 15% off their first order plus free shipping, free returns, free exchanges when you use the code KLIQ15, KLIQ 15 at checkout. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc. Promo code KLIQ15. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support us. Tell them we sent you. Fuck your khakis. Get the perfect jean. Thank you, perfect jean. Thank you, thank you. All the assassination talk, Kev. My latest book came out this week, and so it's always interesting to see what people talk about, right? So this is a book that spans 20 years of espionage and intrigue in Cuba, the United States, the CIA, the FBI, Miami's drug dealing scene in the 70s and 80s, Castro. And the thing that the press seems to keep coming back to is the JFK stuff that's in here. It's still such a thing. And I guess, obviously there's a time when people trusted their government, Kev, and
yeah, until you read the Warren Commission, then you went, "Are you fucking shitting me?"
There's just a lot of paperwork on a lot that I had to sift through, and damn it, those Cuban exiles are in a lot of it. And the part of the book that specifically deals with this is that when Ricardo Morales was in the CIA training camp in Homestead, Florida. It was mostly Cubans being trained to go back, Brigade 2506, Bay of Pigs, and get Castro. But there were some gringos there. I think Barry Seal, who, if you saw I think he was immortalized in the Tom Cruise film, American Made, The Pilot. But also a guy, Ozzy, who was not a great shot. Morales later told his sons. Turned out to be Lee Harvey Oswald. Didn't know it at the time, but then, of course, saw who he was on TV. And when Monkey's kids were getting older and they were talking about the JFK assassination that they were learning about in school, they asked their father about it. And he said, I saw that guy shoot in camp. He couldn't have done it. And he was actually sent, he and unnamed Cubans, as best I could put together, don't know the identities. He was sent to Dallas the day before, on the 21st of November, as part of a cleanup crew. He was just told to go. He was armed, told to wait in a hotel for orders. None came. The Kennedy assassination happened, and he was sent back the next day. But all very curious. So they can release all the documents they want to in Washington. You're never going to read about a smoking gun. You're never going to read one's own government involved in the assassination of a president.
Never.
No one would ever put it in writing. They went through such great lengths when they were trying to get into Cuba, get back to Castro, to have the U.S.'s involvement appear nowhere. That's why the 1,500 Cuban men were trained to go back and do it. We couldn't put U.S. boots on the ground. And after the Bay of Pigs, and I have the memo, and I reprinted part of it in the book, the lengths we would have gone to justify U.S. boots on the ground. One of the things that was considered in a memo from the Joint Chiefs of Staff to the Kennedy administration was to sink boatloads of Cubans who were invited here to get out of Cuba, and set off bombs here to kill or maim on the homeland, and have somebody already set up to blame in Castro's organization to justify our going down there and doing that. And getting them with U.S. forces.
So they would actually, they would kill our own people.
Yes.
To pull off the scam that they wanted to do.
I have the memo. I'll send it to you.
God, man, what's today's date?
Today? Oh,
yeah.
You asshole. Kevin's steering me back into a discussion we have off the air a lot about 9/11. We are taping this on Patriot Day.
Yeah.
9/11. Well played, Mr. Nash.
Yeah, I'm just, it's just funny how it's, the follow the bouncing ball. They didn't have a problem with it when they killed our president, so. Seems to be in the playbook.
I asked Kevin if he wanted to talk about where we were on 9/11, and he said, I'm not putting them over. Once a worker, always a worker.
I'm just not. It's just that plane cannot make that turn at 800 feet above sea level. I'm sorry, especially with a guy that can't drive a Cessna. And I don't need any. There's a 14-foot hole in the Pentagon, and the wingspan is 153 feet on that plane. And there's a fax machine on the left side where the plane went through. This got the fax paper unhinged, unburned, untouched. The fax machine's fine. I mean, there's just so much shit, and you just say to yourself, you know what, man? If you're gonna try to pull the wool over my eyes, at least you got to come at me with some game. So.
Mike M. was listening last week, Kev, and he said this was a great episode. Just hearing Kevin vent and rant on everything from wrestling to the state of U.S. politics is certainly a breath of fresh air. It reminded me of the promo he cut the night after he dropped the belt to Bret, and he felt liberated. Thank you, Mike.
First person to mention Vince McMahon as the owner of the company.
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
That was a breaking of kayfabe.
One of many, but yeah, one of many.
But the first involving Vince as owner.
Yeah.
I learn something new every week.
You missed the ball, Vince. You missed the ball.
Is that the week you gave him the finger? No, I think
that was later.
That was once he became the character, Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just, you know what? And speaking about that, I mean, sometimes the closer you can make it to reality, the better it is. Like, especially if you've been gone for like 10 years and you may not be familiar with a character that was there the 10 years prior to that, and they go on a rampage during a promo and say that while they were off, they went and got like therapy and took care of their mental health, and the people start chanting therapy, and then you realize that she didn't go get mental health, that this is a wrestling angle, and we're kind of mocking therapy.
This is the AJ Lee chant that you're making reference to.
And mental illness. I mean, this is part of something that we feel is good.
Well, in all fairness, this wasn't a company decision to have. I mean, the chant is a chant. I mean, the fans in where were we? Milwaukee last week.
Well, she didn't say no. Seriously, she said, "Yeah, therapy's like." She's kept it going. I swear to God, it doesn't matter what they chant. If you can get them to chant, I guess that's somehow some kind of operant conditioning that makes,
The accomplishment was getting the chant and not necessarily paying attention to what was.
And then I can't believe that Becky would come down because she's just been on fire lately and make reference to the fact of the people from Milwaukee were fucking, like go right to the town and go for that. I swear to God, like she went from the man to Buddy Landell in like 3 months. She's got as much credibility and heat as Buddy Landell.
I thought Rick Rude was always good at the tell these whatever city, Milwaukee.
That was usually a house show, though. I mean, this once again we continue to watch house show antics on Netflix.
Now, so we run out of gas a little here, Kev. Not us, but
I think that the
WWE product.
They're loading this fucking $360 a month cannon called Wrestlepalooza. And they're not going to give a shit. And if you want, I think it's to the point now where if you want something that's really good, you have to fucking pay for it.
Yeah, but with this coming up, with the ESPN pay channel coming up, if you wanted to drive people to it, is this the best we're going to do? Because what are we? How many weeks out are we from this Wrestlepalooza? A week?
What are you going to give away? Because you got to give something away for free, and you can't because everything that you're building is worth buying. Cena versus Brock.
Mm-hmm.
Punk and his wife versus Rollins and his wife. Like everything is being built around. But if you don't buy it, you don't get to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're going to have on Netflix prior to this, I believe Punk and Rollins and the ladies are going to have like a sit down type thing back and forth to add fuel before we are asked to spend $330 a year on.
So just a quick thing on AJ, who's from my hood up in Union City. It's kind of a work shoot with the mental health thing. She's long been an advocate for mental health awareness and transparent about her own struggles, including a diagnosis of bipolar disorder. So I don't think the fans were mocking necessarily. I think maybe it was a chant of support.
No, because I think when she covered it by saying, you might not know who I am, but your parents probably do. And your parents, when you say that to a crowd, that means that your parents aren't probably watching the product. So...
Has she been gone that long? She's been,
10 years.
Has there been a generational leap? It has been a decade.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Jesus. Wow.
So that guy that's trying to figure out how he's going to get his strawberries picked at his orchard without any illegals is not watching wrestling right now.
Right. But Chris Arctor was, and he wrote in and said, we need a Nash shirt that says, my whole thing is this. I've adopted that saying after listening to Nash over the years, and it would be cool to see it on a shirt. Can we do that?
What is that? Do I say, is that one of my
That's one of your gimmicks.
My tee-ups? My whole thing is this?
That's it. My whole thing is this. Right. Yeah, that's you do kind of lead into a...
And
it's usually when you're going to drop some truth.
Yeah. Well, I did. I was absolutely. I felt joy in LA Knight being in all black gear this past Raw.
Was anyone critical of the brown?
I was.
Oh.
I thought it was very Crocodile Dundee, but who am I? Who am I? I'm some has been, washed up, never been, weakest link in the NWO. That the only reason I've still got a voice is because I haven't died yet.
No, you still have sway. You know that. This podcast is different, I think, from the litany of ones out there because more than once, things that happen here have reverberations on not just WWE, on televised wrestling.
Well, I don't see how that's possible since I was involved in some of the larger fucking things that ever happened to change the business.
Right. Well,
I mean, I could probably sit back on the curtain call alone and say, eat my dick. But
Kev, my whole thing is this. If I'm going to have breakfast, I want high protein and as little sugar as possible. So my whole thing is Magic Spoon, as is yours. I could be talking about cereal, because if I am talking about cereal, like this frosted jammy that I have right here, those little flaky frosted things, I'm talking about 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs. Love the frosted. I have had the fruity also. I've been tipped off by our producer, Mr. Kaufman, who likes to mix the cocoa and the peanut butter for a chocolatey treat. And speaking of treats, they have the treats, the crispy, crunchy, airy treats, which is a perfect way to get 12 grams of protein on the go. Marshmallow, favorite of mine, chocolate peanut butter, dark chocolate, and the granola now too. Guys, you will get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/Kliq, Kliq. You can go to Amazon or your nearest grocery store or the big boxes and grab one, but we'll give you $5 off if you go to magicspoon.com/Kliq, Kliq, and grab your magic spoon. Don't forget the promo code KLIQ. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for making me feel good in the morning.
Five off is a nice little...
Hell yeah, on a box of cereal?
Nice little nugget.
Cray. Who else? Randy Wilson, listening, he said, love this podcast, gonna miss it. I think Kev is ready to give it up and move on to other endeavors. Kevin, does Randy Wilson know something I don't?
Not unless I've somehow forgotten that I lost my kid.
Doubt that you forgot that.
Yeah, I'm pretty much sure that the show ends with 4T.
Yes.
So, no, I'm an ornery fucking prick. And just some days I'm able to hide it better than others. I think the last maybe 6 weeks I've just kind of said fuck it.
Wearing your heart on your sleeve a little more.
No, I just I just like I came out and said I was a Christian, and I deal with I had no road rage or anything else, but when it comes to all this other shit in our society, that I don't have any fucking say so in what happens. Like I said, I can say whatever I want. Like somebody said, "Oh, you're kind of dogging your buddy Paul's show." I'm like, no, because I don't think that they're sitting around and going, oh, fuck, Ed, we need to fucking tighten shit up. We're losing the 66-year-old wealthy white crew.
But this is one of those cases of damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you're not critical of the product, or you don't speak your mind about the product, they go, oh, of course, Paul's boy, he loves everything that he does. Then when you're critical...
Paul wasn't even at fucking Raw last week.
He wasn't. That's true.
No. I mean, people don't even know what's fucking going on.
Speaking of which...
Would you be fucking sitting in a room... like going back and forth, it's midnight and you just really don't have the fucking finish that you want? Or would you go ahead and look down at your fucking emails and go, man, we've really got to get back and make a decision on this fucking $37 billion deal we got?
Yeah.
As I said, this is an entertainment company. Endeavor is an entertainment company.
Agreed.
They just so happen to have pro wrestling in their portfolio.
Well, Fingers MC wrote in and said, is Kev working an angle here criticizing Tripp's booking? Could we see him as general manager? Make it happen, Nash, Triple H.
What don't people get about the fact that if you're on television, you got a fucking job? You're getting on a plane... Like, I don't want, what the fuck? What? Like, come on. I don't want that. I don't want to be on TV. I don't care.
Well, listen, people smell work everywhere when it comes to wrestling, so they think maybe.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Or Fingers thought maybe.
No. If somebody comes up with the perfect script and they can fucking go ahead and age me to like 70...
You'd have to lose so much weight, though.
Oh, I'd have to lose 1,000 pounds. I mean, I'm 66 and 290, so I mean, to get down to 220, I think that what they're going to do is they're going to use Rock and me, and we're going to do a remake of Little Big Man, the Dustin Hoffman classic. And I'm gonna play the 100-year-old Dustin Hoffman that's doing the narration.
Right. And Rock would have
play
to
the
get down to about
middle,
220.
Play the middle, and then Steve Kirk could play the young.
Steve Kerr, the point guard for the Seattle Supersonics? Oh, no. Who was it?
Smashing Machine.
Oh, which Kerr am I thinking of? Steve, wasn't it? Who was the point with the blonde hair guy? Kerr. Who the fuck? Mark Kerr. Okay,
I'm sorry, I fucked up. Mark Kerr.
You get that test.
You can play Steve Kerr. And let me tell you something about your fucking testosterone level. My fucking my testosterone level was 580 10 days after my fucking injection. So my fucking testosterone level right now is probably about 1135.
You show me proof of that, I'll give you props. You show me proof of that, I'll give you props for it.
Well, you
can have my report.
You can't even fucking. You don't even know what the fuck. You're throwing some 600 number at me. You've got no other numbers. You don't even know. You just go give blood. Fuck, man. They're using it to fucking feed some vampire bat in the back. You don't even know what's going on with you. You don't even know how to read a blood.
I don't know anything. Valor Vibrato agrees with you. They listened last week and said, the more I watch these episodes, it's funny how little knowledge Sean Oliver has on 95% of topics. Knows nothing about art, knows nothing about fitness. It's wild.
How do you not know nothing about art?
Well, I don't know what he's talking about. But listen, we could be real here. My role here, Valor Vibrato, is the ringmaster and the every member of the audience. You get that, Valor? I'm you sitting with Nash. I'm not Waltman sitting with Nash. I'm not HBK. I'm you. And that's why you listen, dickwad, because it's me as you feeding Nash. And there's some days where I have to feed the beast. Some days I have to go, I have to be a little stiff to feed the beast. Some days I don't have to do anything. I just sell for the beast. Okay? So you're not getting me. You're getting me getting the best out of him. Because that's my job here. To be whoever I have to be to get the best out of whoever shows up across from my screen.
Could
here.
you imagine if you and I were like the same fucking, had the exact same personality? This show would be unwatchable.
Well, but that's what you get on a lot of these things where everybody jacks each other off on the air.
I know that. I'm saying it's just like somebody said in the, I just can't see them ever hanging out. I'm just like,
that was Simply the Best who said, this could be a decent podcast, but that Sean Oliver is awful at his job and doesn't look like someone Nash would be friends with. This guy looks like Joe Fan in the streets that works at Home Depot.
And it's like, no, I like people that are my friends. I have very few friends that are in the business. Like, you can only have so many wrestling friends. Then you need, like, real friends. Like, people that, like, do things besides pro wrestling. Because I'm telling you right now, my pro wrestling fucking anatomy and my fucking dialogue, I should say my dialogue on a daily basis about pro wrestling is usually somebody says, hey, aren't you that wrestler guy?
And that's it.
And I say, I used to wrestle.
You know what you do say? Okay, so here's when people see you, and first of all, the height, right? That kind of gives something away that you're going to be some kind of athlete, right? So times I've been with you where people don't remember you right away from the ring, but they say, oh, you realize what you always tell them. You say, I used to play basketball. You always say that first. You never say, yeah, well, I was a wrestler, so I'm kind of tall. We were at the bank one time. Remember, we were at the bank, and the women at the bank were like, my God, you're so big. You have to be a sports guy. And you were like, yeah, I play basketball. They're like, oh, that explains it. You never go to the wrestling.
No. Because there's no advantage of being 7 foot and fucking wrestling.
Right.
You're an oddity. In basketball, you're just another motherfucking swinging dick.
To your point about the, friends in the business kind of thing. Before we did the show together, and when we would work together and hang out afterwards or whatever, I'll say the same for Sullivan, because I spent a lot of time with Sullivan after we would work, after we would shoot. You know what percentage of the time I talked to the people that I was friendly with in the business? What percentage of our conversation was wrestling?
0.
Almost 0.
Yeah. Because we just spent 2.5 hours doing that.
Right.
Why would we go someplace and have a steak and a glass of wine and fucking hey, I don't know if you wanted me to go into more depth, But if you want to talk about when we really invaded, like what?
Here's the rest of that story.
Yeah.
Started earlier
Jesus.
today.
Do you mind if I run a tape recorder and get this?
But Kevin, I'm not going to name names. Maybe there are other people that have podcasts presently that were managers that all they talked about off camera was wrestling. So it was such a wonderful breath of fresh air when Sullivan would say, "You know what real estate is like up in Portland right now?" And we could just talk about that. Fucking guy could talk about anything.
But there are certain people, like I listen to Jeff Jarrett's podcast sometimes when I get a chance to, and I am absolutely amazed that Jeff can. You can show fucking. It's like the old game concentration. You turn over one thing and Jeff can tell you what the puzzle is. Like you show him a clip and he's like, "Oh yeah, that was," and he'll name like the build up to the angle, and I just say to myself like, "Wow," like like that's why he's still in the business. That's why he's booked. That's why that's somebody that's like really smart to the wrestling business.
Mm-hmm.
And knows, to whereas I'm smart to the business because I know I think because I took it as a business and I know what works as far as getting over and not overtaxing yourself. And I don't think that's called being lazy. I think that's being called working smart instead of hard. But I was also crippled the day I decided to become a wrestler. I couldn't fucking run. I could run 3 steps. That's all I needed to get across the ropes. That was about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a completely different. And I didn't want to be a wrestler.
Right.
I wanted to be rich and famous.
By whatever means.
Whatever
means. If you could have been the most rich and famous bouncer, you would have been.
Yeah, as long as it was legal, to a degree.
And that's even a little bit in question too, based on some of your antics in Tennessee.
Everywhere, fuck Detroit. I mean Atlanta. I always had something in my fucking trunk that shouldn't be there.
With 11 other guys to weigh it down.
Fuck, why wouldn't you?
If you want to be part of the live studio audience watching here and enjoying the pre-show, which was epic today, by the way, you're going to go to KliqThisTV.com. KliqThisTV.com. Sign up, become part of the 11 Soft Club. We're long and strong. You get to ask some questions at the end here also to Kevin. You get the show early. You get it without commercials. And also, you get 20% off. Is 20 the number, Dom? I don't want to misrepresent. I think it's 20% off all the merch at the Kliq This shop at KliqThisShop.com if you're a member of the squad here. So go do it. In regard to the AJ return, Kev, I wanted to ask you one thing when we were talking about it before. The mixed tag. You've talked about the difficulty in watching like a 3-way or even the 4 ways where there are rules, and I don't mean rules that are stated by the referee, rules for you guys working for believability. In order to make the match work, one guy's got to powder, and so somebody's always got to take the back seat. With a mixed tag, a mixed gender tag, that's even more so. You know what?
Just go back to a 3-way dance.
Yeah.
I don't know how many don't need to know, but I don't know if you've ever had a 3-way with 2 other women, sexual encounter, and I've had a few in my life. I've never had one that when I walked away, I went, "Wow, that was great," because 9 times out of 10, the only reason you're having a three-way is because you're no longer into the one person, so you bring the other one in to try to. It's always a psychological fuck. And somebody's got to fucking, you got to give one of them a fucking hip check off the fucking bed and say, sell this, don't come back until I'm done fucking mounting fucking a little doggy style for fucking 7 minutes.
This is exactly how they do this at the Performance Center, by the way, when they train for the, this is the analogy they go with.
Yeah, they go with this. So it's just, I think that, from anything that I think that a wrestling match, there's a degree of intimacy in it. Like it's a contest, and like last week, there were 2 heels in the ring and 3 baby faces blew them out at the beginning of the show, and that goes against everything I was ever taught in the business. Like when did the fucking heels powder because the baby faces have them outnumbered? Like it's okay if there's 8 heels and 2 baby faces go down and get the upper hand. I didn't get the Jey Uso fucking super kick at the end of the show
to LA Knight.
I didn't get it. I don't know if I was supposed to get some correlation to his brother saying you're sounding more like Roman.
I just thought it was a little swerve. I don't think it's going to become a turn or anything. I think this was just to keep it interesting. The product's a little stale. Raw was stale as fuck this week.
Well, that's their go out. It's just like I don't know. I just don't know. I haven't seen Rhea. I can't take Asha. I can't take that character at all.
There's a little paint.
Yeah, she's doing like Insane Clown Posse, like meets anime. Like
you had an interesting Bayley promo.
Yeah.
Which was like a little mini film, like a short student film, I would say.
It felt kind of like we were back in the old Rod Sterling, Twilight Zone, except it was in color, and she kind of ended on a point, and there was this perfect edit, and then fucking Johnny fucking Sportscaster's got to go, all right, I wonder if Bayley's going to be able to kick a fucking field goal with that fucking 2 thoughts in her mind. I just went, shut the fuck up. If it's not fucking written, produced, and shot well enough to sit on its own and go to commercial break, don't put it on the goddamn show, man.
And it is also outside of the product, the competition of it.
We're doing this, we can't, again, man, somebody's got to get the fucking box and the fucking monopoly and say, we're a sports program. No, we're this. No, we're everything. But we're going to call it all like it's a fucking sports
like it's
show.
Legit. So you show that internal. She was having like an internal monologue, and like you would never have John Madden saying, "Gee, Pat, that was some coverage at Testaverde's conscience right there." So you leave that separate. You show the thing.
But the thing is, the work style the way it is right now, which means that if you have 6 segments, 3 of them are going to be using the fucking announce table as part of their match. So if
from the first match too, by the way.
Yeah. So if you don't have McAfee out there and Cole that are embracing the fact that they're part of the show and this shit happens, and while fucking somebody drops somebody in their head, McAfee gives them you can't call it like you're fucking Aiken and Buck and you're up in the fucking booth.
Right.
You're ringside.
Yeah, it's part of the show.
Yeah, it's like So that really needs to be ironed out. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm just so fucking anal in my fucking thought process of pro wrestling that something like that is so irky that I don't want to watch it. Like I fucking find myself muting the show and just watching the matches because I don't want to hear him call. I don't like him as a wrestling announcer.
So this begs a good question for Joe, audience member, me playing the role of audience member. What qualities? Here I am at the Performance Center. I want to be an announcer. What are you going to tell me? What are you looking for in me to see if I even have a shot? What makes it work for you?
If you're going to call it like it's a sporting event, then you better fucking you need to sit down and watch 25 million hours of Jim Ross, because nobody can touch Jim Ross. Period.
And Jim also, I think the reason he was so great also, they always do talk about him calling it like a football game or whatever, but the thing is too, but it's not a football game, and you need those moments of elevated excitement.
No, Jim
he
was,
knew how to
he
do.
Jim was so smart to the business, and then he was also so readily available to the talent that when you sat down, like you sat down with your opponent, you got it done. You said, you're good with that. You're good with that finish. You're good this. Then your next fucking step is go to Jim to make sure Jim fucking solidifies, amplifies, and follows that storyline you're telling. So the fucking audio matches the visual. And that's part of the fucking work. And then you, on top of that, for God's sake, please fucking include the guy with the striped shirt, because if you bury him, the whole fucking thing's a shit show.
We talked about this on air,
Yeah.
and how it's just kind of been taken for granted that the referees.
I love watching AJ wrestle. I think he's so fucking good. But it's like, how many weeks do you go down and your opponent comes down with somebody else before you say, you know what, man, I'm going to bring, I mean, somebody back there's got to like AJ. You know, bring somebody
he looked
out
good
there.
Monday, too. I think he had the match of the night.
Yeah, I thought so.
Now, with the little tidbit you gave on JR, did he seek you guys out looking for the information, or you knew to go to the announcer?
No, you knew where you were on the card, number one, in the first place, to be able to have that kind of, you know, if your first match, you don't go up to Jim Ross and go, hey, I know you got a fucking lot of shit on your mind, man, but when I sink that arm drag, could you please make reference to Ricky Steamboat? Like, I don't think you know, like you got to know your role. Mm-hmm. If you're one of the top 2-3 matches that are being featured, then absolutely, because you want to make sure that, like I said, that the visual and the audio fucking match.
See, so I agree with you on JR just as a viewer, but see, I always thought there was room. Like, I enjoyed, maybe because I grew up on it, I enjoyed Gorilla and Bobby. And it wasn't being called like a football game, but it was just because they were smart enough and entertaining enough?
No, I think the business was different.
More hokey.
Yeah, you know, it's like there's nobody walking out of the ring with a bulldog or a bird or a snake
right.
or, you know, the business is completely different.
Who did you get in Detroit when you watched?
We got Big Time.
Right. Who used to call it?
Oh God, who fucking remember? I don't know. I watched it till I was maybe 9 years old, and I started playing basketball.
Right. I'm trying to think. This seems like something I should know, but anyway. So JR, contemporary. Who? How about Cole? How do you feel?
I like Cole.
Okay.
I like Cole. And he's taken a while. He took me when he got that position. Took me a little while to get, because I was so used to JR. Took me a little while to get used to his style. But now it's like when Cole's not there, it's like unwatchable for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not unwatchable. It's unlistenable.
And you were a big McAfee guy.
Yeah, I wasn't at the beginning. I thought it was a distraction.
Mm.
And then I realized, like, I watched the people around him in the crowd, and and you could just see he's a fucking star. You know, like McAfee's a star. He's a personality. He's somebody, you know, like if somebody said to me, "Hey man, like we're gonna go out tomorrow night in Vegas, and we got a car, and we got fucking a great steakhouse, and we got fucking upper deck, fucking just best seats in the fucking best club. We can just sit and watch shit go down." I'd be like, I don't want to do that shit. McAfee's going to be there. I'll go. Like, I will fucking go. And I've only really met him one time. I met him at the Hall of Fame, and he was so kind and gracious and nice, and just such a different, like he's so supercharged when he does, you know, his shows and his like. He turns it up like all the great ones do.
Yeah,
they have the ability to turn it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I miss him.
You know who turns it up? True Classic, Kev, and they got the hanging T-shirts. I'm just going to call them the hanging T-shirts because you've dubbed it so.
I don't have one. I had one on yesterday.
We're talking about a couple of true classics like JR and Pat McAfee. Let's throw in those hoodies you're looking at there, those long sleeve tees, those Henleys, those regular tees. It's about the fit, it's about the feel, and for God's sake, it's about the price. All right, it's not just the product either. When you look at this company, they're helping guys show up with confidence and purpose every single day. That's the mission, uplifting men in their day-to-day lives. And they do give back to underserved communities, all right? Why can't a dude feel good in just a tee, all right? A tee that fits the way it should, feels incredible, and doesn't cost you a fortune. Well, they've done it. They've done it. They've cracked the code. I've been wearing True Classics since they came into our lives. I got a stain on my white one. I had a heart attack the other day. I tore that off and ran through it right in the wash. You will know the difference the minute you throw one on. All right, it's tailored where you want it and relaxed where you need it. We're talking no bunching, no stiff fabric either. Just it's a clean, effortless fit. Really, I don't know how they do it, but they know what the hell they're doing with how these things are put together. And forget the overpriced designer brands, okay? And don't take you don't want cheap throwaway stuff either. True Classic is built for comfort and built to last. All right, you can find them at Target, Costco, or head to trueclassic.com/Kliq, Kliq, and try them on for yourself. Thank you, True Classic. Truly getting it done. Kev, how about you know what? Before I move on, I want to bring up a story I saw that WWE is set to announce that WrestleMania 43 in 2027 is going to be in Saudi Arabia. Now I know they're doing stuff over there. I know the Royal Rumble they're getting paid $55 million to do the Royal Rumble over there. I think they usually get 50 per event, a little more for Royal Rumble, and 100 is the number I heard for WrestleMania.
100 million?
Yes. So it's a lucrative deal. I understand why they're doing it, but it brings up a lot of logistical questions, like the Hall of Fame. We're flying everybody out there now that we want.
No, they'll have a base someplace in Europe, and They'll put all that shit in a can probably.
So shoot like the shows leading up to WrestleMania, like the Raw the week before.
Yeah, that was
in Germany or some shit. And
then fly in. It's like like the Super Bowl. You have your playoff game. You fly in. You do your media. You do your WrestleMania week in Saudi Arabia, and you fucking have your.
But maybe tape the Hall of Fame.
Well, I would tape the Hall of Fame because it didn't seem to hurt the 2020 Hall of Fame when we were in COVID. We filmed that with no crowd. I just wouldn't want that. I would, I don't think I'd use the same person that shot the BAYLEY thing if they're going to have the commentating during the speeches. So.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, I don't know why I'm attaching more significance. It's another show. If Royal Rumble can be there, I understand. But maybe there's should the Super Bowl be in Saudi Arabia? Let's move the Super Bowl to Saudi Arabia.
Haven't you heard that there's going to be soon there's going to be 2 WrestleManias a year?
I don't know this to be fact.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Well, that again would diminish the significance.
Not necessarily.
I mean, a balance of money and product. I mean, you can't sacrifice the product to take the short-end money. I think that's what's spreading WrestleMania. Let's have a WrestleMania every month. Why the fuck not? Let's put it in Saudi Arabia. I mean, let's put it in Kiev.
No. If the Netflix deal becomes a fucking absolute wrestling desert, you're gonna do whatever you have to watch fucking a premium live event. I don't know. I'm trying to come to grips to what I'm going to do because.
Who's your carrier? What do you have as a cable carrier or?
I have DirecTV.
Okay, now mine is Verizon Fios, and I got a notification the other day that ESPN channel will be part of my current package. Now, is my current package going up? I don't know. But whatever package I have now.
Yeah, I just saw where Peacock was going up. And it's like, and I'm one of those people, man, it's just like, my wife looked at me, she goes, are you fucking kidding me? You rent movies for $24.99 like it's like fucking going out of style, like two a night sometimes. And I said, yeah, because that's my fucking choice. It's a film. I said, but like the NFL football, like if you make NFL football, if you make everything on streaming, guess what? I don't give a fuck. I love NFL football, but I'm not gonna pay 13 streaming things to fucking watch NFL football. I'll watch SportsCenter. I could give 2 fucks. I'm more worried about getting my mind right to play the 70-year-old man.
Well, you got a lot of work to do. You're far too big.
Fucking 4 years from now, I mean, can you imagine the physical and mental growth that I'm going to have as a human being in 4 years? Unbelievable. I mean, that kind of. I'm going to have to call Daniel Day-Lewis and fucking pick his brain on this.
How about a little Florida man jersey guy? It's been a minute.
All right.
We didn't do one at all last week.
No, I was so grouchy.
You threw the flag. All right, so 2 actual stories. Kevin will identify which is
400 South Koreans at a Kia plant. Okay, go ahead.
The first item.
12 drug runners.
Guy arrested for allegedly stealing $1,000 worth of vinyl records at Target. This is the store edition. So that was Target. Second headline: Man attacks couple with bug spray outside Publix.
Again, Publix is only in Florida, so that's the Florida man.
Is this true though?
Yeah.
I feel like South Jersey, there's got to be Publix.
No, we
like
went
where the
through this.
Wawas start showing up. Jersey Shore.
You went through this. There was one Publix, but it wasn't an affiliation. It was like fucking Ed Publix fucking groceries.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. We did look this up once before. None. Where does it begin? Furthest south from me is...
So thank you once again for fucking... With my testosterone down to fucking 580, there's no way my brain was going to function. So thanks for the layup.
I try to help where I can. But I feel like you would have gotten that anyway, based on the behavior. Some guy running around spraying people with bug spray, or somebody stealing records.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, like, really? Fucking Target sells vinyls?
Oh yeah, huge section.
I don't go to fucking stores. I have no clue.
It's becoming less of a niche thing.
I've got Atlantic Sounds right across from my fucking gym. That's like the Mac. It's like high fidelity. It's got every fucking. It's got everything. If you want it, it's got it. Mm-hmm. Vinyls. I found an actual Fleetwood Mac back when it was a Fleetwood Mac mystery to me when Bob Welch is the lead singer of Fleetwood Mac.
Wow.
Yeah. Got me hypnotized. That's the fucking big hit on it. Yeah. $11.99.
Epic.
Got it.
That's pretty stiff. Speaking of which, BLUECHEW.
Bam.
Our friends at BLUECHEW. We're not talking about just a tablet here. We're talking about the big cheat code for your crotch. Okay. The secret is out. Okay. The secret is out thanks to us and many other outlets that are touting the success of BLUECHEW, with giving men the confidence to be able to perform at their top level when called upon. Give your guy downstairs a little pep talk, all right? It's like a gym membership for your pekka. It's not just about performance. Go ahead. You look like you were going to add something.
No, it's just that at this point, it's such an effective product. It's like if I'm a female, like I'm ordering this, and then when my man comes over, it's like, hey, you know,
do this.
Yeah, like
before you do this.
Exactly. Like
right.
Why, you know, you don't run a Porsche on fucking, you know, regular gasoline. You gotta put the fucking 92 in.
Yeah.
Unless you go to the private airline place, you can run 100. But
so you don't necessarily have to have any issues here. You could just pop it. You could chew one anytime, day or night, and just be ready to go. It's just about better sex.
But it changes. It changes the complexity of the whole deal. There's a noticeably increase in vasodilation.
I was just about to say that. Absolutely. And that's even for folks that don't have a testosterone of 610.
Right.
You could have you can get the same effect. And listen, you know, your lady's going to talk, right? So you want to have some legacy here, right? You want to show up well in conversation. So nothing's going to make you more of a goddamn legend than our friends at BLUECHEW. So go discover your options at BLUECHEW.com. Take advantage of our special deal for listeners. You're going to get your first month of BLUECHEW free. Just use the promo code NASH at checkout. Pay $5 for shipping, and it's on its way. And you'll be on your way. That's all you got to do. Join BLUECHEW's mission to upgrade humanity. One thrust at a time. Head to BLUECHEW.com for details and important safety info. Thanks to BLUECHEW for sponsoring us.
You know, the same guys that don't jerk off are the same guys that will tell you, I don't need that shit.
Right. Same mentality.
Yeah. As they lose their 7th girlfriend in 9 years.
All right, back with Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. It's time for the high spot of the show. That means we're going to talk to you about our friends Mickey Ray and Courtney. Now hitched, by the way. So congratulations, first of all.
Nice.
You know where they met? This was a little tidbit that came out. I was doing some business with Mickey at the gathering of the Juggalos, for God's sakes.
Sweet.
So I think they should have just had the wedding there at this year's gathering.
Was Asa there?
Who's that?
Was Asa there?
Ox. No, I don't think. She's going to be in next year's gathering. Guys, we could be talking about the Delta 9 THC sip and syrup, which if you want to become your own mixologist, you just mix a teaspoon of that magic syrup in the drink of your choice, or the Get Blitzed Lit Aid mixers. Kliq this edition. Kevin's Key Lime, Sean's Blue Raz. It's our show. Go grab yourself a 4-pack of those jammies. And pre-mixed, amazing mixer. Nano-infused, if you're hearing this term that I'm throwing around, what that means is it goes right to your bloodstream. It bypasses breakdown in the liver, so it's kind of like alcohol. All right, if you live in Maryland, you can visit the one of the Stay Lit smoke shops. But for the rest of us, it is legal to ship right from the Get Blitzed website to almost all 50 states without a med card, as long as you're over 21. And right now, you can save 15% by entering the code KLIQ at checkout, KLIQ. Go to get-blitzed.com. That's get-blitzed.com. Try the Delta 9 THC sip and syrup. Try the Get Blitzed Kliq This Lit Aid mixers. Whatever you get, remember to put in the code KLIQ, KLIQ, and get your 15%. Love this. I'm actually out of the product, Kevin. I ripped through the whole case already. God damn it. Ask Nash. It's how you get to Kevin. Hashtag Ask Nash. Or you can just join the 11 Soft Club here by going to clickthistv.com. Who's in the house that would
before we go, can I state something I noticed
anything you want
in watching Raw this week?
Yes.
Nikki Bella has aged very well.
Agreed.
And she's a good worker. I mean, she's solid. I don't get.
So what's the problem? Because the match didn't work.
Because the fucking she doesn't sell shit. She doesn't. It's not.
Is she being sent out there to power through Nikki?
I don't think she does. I mean, I think Nikki. I don't know. I'm watching Nikki. I don't give a fuck what the other one's doing. You know. The more you sling her around, it's just like, all right, it's fine with me. But it's just like I'm not watching the painted painted scream machine. I'm not watching.
It was throwback to Kabuki a little bit. It was.
Yeah, it's so dated. Like, once again, like with there's no one from Japan that wrestles that speaks like Sonny Ono, that speaks like English.
Well, I'm sure, of course.
Yeah, right. It's like I don't know, making it difficult.
All right, let's get a question for Kev.
My day's been so fucked up that I didn't even look at the markets today.
It was down when I looked before the close, though, so I don't know where it landed. All right. Who's here? Questions? Ian Drew Dice Clay. Does Kevin remember being on the Movie Lounge on TBS with Michael McKean in 1998? Just turned up on YouTube. Adrian France clearly wanted to bang you.
I remember that.
How do you land this shit? Is this something the company would hook up for you?
Yeah,
or you'd be
okay.
No,
they would hook us
up. Next.
Because she wanted to bang me.
Right. Ace Ramon, just saw your 95 Rumble promo with Bret where you made him laugh while he was talking about imagining these long legs. Was that a way of protecting him from saying something sketchy?
No, he kind of got freaky, and at that time, I mean, the reference is so old. But I said, "What do you think? Are you thinking about me or Susan Anton?"
That's right. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Great reference. CB, why didn't the Outsiders spray paint NWO on the tag team belts?
Because the tag team belts were garbage. Those things were held. They were held together with like fucking duct tape when we got there.
Okay. CB, once again, any resentment towards DX? Bischoff said, I got 2 words for you, bite me, 5 months before DX started. Down where? Down here. DX made it a shirt. DX treated Michael Cole like NWO treated Schiavone. I actually didn't know that Bischoff had a call. I got 2 words for you, bite me. Did you ever hear that that's where DX got it from?
It's one of those things, man. It's like when you're during the Monday Night Wars, like we didn't watch any of their show. They didn't watch any of ours. We were too busy doing our own shit.
And nobody told them. People could tip you off.
What are we gonna do? Oh my God, our show's fucking sinking, and they're doing something that we did a while back that's getting over.
Point taken.
Yeah.
All right. Instagram, a wrestling historian. When you look at how dark things feel right now after Charlie Kirk's assassination, what do you think American could start recovering from this?
I think that the biggest thing we have to do is we've got to lose this notion of there's a red and a blue America. That it's I mean, it's been said 1,000 times, but I guess I'll say it 1,001. The easiest way to conquer something is to divide them. So you divide and conquer. Everybody's heard that term. It works. So you divide Middle America, and then it's easy to conquer us. I'm sorry, but we've lost a fucking million jobs since this cat's come in office. And he was talking about all these manufacturing jobs, and he just fucking pulled 400. I mean, it's if everybody doesn't realize that if they're not fucking ultra wealthy, and I'm talking about ultra wealthy as the point of, are you going to not that you're going to go? Are you going to go see your family for the holidays? But what private jet you're going to take? If you're not in that fucking category, then you're in the rest of us, and we're all fucked. So a guy gets a little fucking head of steam that's pro-right, and he gets taken out. He gets coverage. In the meantime, Trump doesn't have to deal with the NATO situation because it's not getting coverage. For sure as fuck, nobody's talking about the Epstein card because, God forbid, I mean, it would take a fucking Columbo to say, you know what? This is Johnson fucking said this the other day. You know what? I'm not going to fucking sleep until I find out who fucking forged that birthday card. That birthday card is over 20 years old. It was signed. It's forged by Trump, who at that point was a registered Democrat, to fuck him up down the line as he ran as a Republican. Like, are you like who fucking puts these fucking things together? I'm surprised that Atta isn't involved in fucking maybe being part of the fucking.
The Muhammad Atta passport is part of the birthday.
No,
card.
he actually fucking forged it.
Oh.
I mean, and then on top of all that, so Then you've got a bunch of females that are covering this on MSNBC when they finally get the optic of the card, and they're saying how it's clear that the Donald is between the legs of this woman, portraying the fact that it's pubic hair. They don't look at the fucking actual drawing and see that the breast development is fucking that of somebody that's 12. There are no breasts. If you were to draw a fucking woman, you would draw round breasts. You wouldn't put two cat eyes.
Right.
A 12-year-old doesn't have pubic hair. A 10-year-old, whatever this fucking freak show's got going on. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you guys think that you're gonna fucking get this guy? Are you fucking kidding me? He's got 32 fucking felony convictions. There ain't nothing gonna happen to him. If he wants to run next time, what are you guys gonna do? It's like, you got nothing. You got fucking nothing. We need to fucking, like, get together. Maybe sit around and fucking, you know, I'm not going to say crisscross applesauce because I'm not that guy. I'm sitting Indian style. So I'm going to cross my fucking, my beat up fucking knees, and I'm going to sit Indian style because all the pictures I see when they pass the peace pipes, they're sitting Indian style. So I'm going to sit Indian style.
Commander style.
What's that?
Commander style, please.
Commander what?
Because the Washington Commanders. Because you said Indian style. I'm keeping it clean.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting Indian style. If I get canceled for that, God please. And then maybe just everybody smoke a bowl. Maybe that's what we need to do. Is everybody smoke a fucking bowl? That's going to be my. I'm going to run on that. America, fucking smoke a bowl. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Everyone would be much more relaxed.
I mean, but I don't even draw. As they show a picture of the Brooklyn Bridge that he drew, that's pretty damn good. It's like one thing after another with this shit. I'm just like, when are we gonna just stop? Like, I stopped watching this fucking the news. I mean, like I said before the show, it's so much easier, man, to go to fucking Bikini Bottom, watch a little SpongeBob. After fucking an hour of SpongeBob, shit, man, I'm not fucking hostile. I'm not fucking pissed.
There's no hate in SpongeBob's world.
And no, and you get just as far knowledge-wise as the guy that watches Jesse Waters for a fucking hour spew his fucking bullshit. What a fucking cum-sucking fucking asshole that guy is. He's the biggest fucking piece of shit on television. He takes Maddow's fucking to the fucking left and gears it up like fucking. And I guess he has to because he can't compete with Hannity. He gets paid a fraction. The fucking
well, that's
guy
what it is. You have to be more outlandish and ignorant.
Guthrie or whatever. The guy that Tyrus is Gutfield. Yeah. He's the guy doing the numbers. He's making $7 million. He does the numbers on Fox. Why is it he's doing the numbers? He goes on TV and fucks off for an hour, and he's pulling the numbers because nobody wants to hear the rest of their shit. Nobody wants to hear fucking Lawrence O'Donnell talk about when he fucking rode on the West Wing and was a goddamn senator. Jesus Christ, man, get over yourself. Go build a fucking desk for a kid in Africa. Like, fuck you. I'm done with all of yous.
Just staying out of the way.
What was the question?
Yeah, next one. Hi, Britt. Is there a chance TKO ever drops WWE and WWE goes back to being privately owned? Seems like they are pricing out fans and destroying the product. They want a lot of money for shitty storylines. I also heard somebody in TKO say that the ticket pricing model is messed up because of what Vince McMahon had done to make it affordable for families, and they're not maximizing. They're not keeping up with UFC. And they have a lot of work to do to get their prices higher for a viable revenue
They're
stream.
just lucky that the late, great Teddy Pendergrass has passed, because he would come at him with a little bit of that love TKO. I think you know what I'm talking about.
You don't think they'll ever leave the market, right? And go back to being just the family business here?
No. Who's gonna? You've already bastardized it to the point of, you know.
And so many people. I mean, so many stakeholders in the company holding shares. You know, that's part of their bonuses and pay, and I don't know how that would be rectified if you left the market.
Well, I mean, you would have to pay the people. Well, I mean, you can still hold. I mean, I don't work for the company, and I've got a shitload of TKO stock.
No, I'm saying if they went private, if they left the stock market.
Well, maybe they fucking would. Yeah, they're not going to go private, because there's what's the upside of going private?
Well, being able to make your own decisions without having to listen to a board or the public, or having stock price affect everything you do.
Well, fuck, man. I just looked at my last month's, man, that it does well.
Right, and that's the other thing, is that it's doing well. Steve, send me one more. Send me one more here as I look at my clock. Drew Lang, 41. Hey, Kev, is there any Petptide you can recommend for weight training? I know you've mentioned CJC 1295 before.
For weight training, I think if you're trying to put on size, that CJC is it's got to have epimorelin in it. It's got to be mixed with epimorelin. But that's size-wise. That's as far as what I know that's still out there that hasn't been shut down. And it's really hard to find real CJC 1290. I couldn't find it. I had to go to testimorelin. And testimorelin is more of a visceral fat-burning, growth hormone enhancing. I haven't put any size on. But then again, I don't want to put any size on because I'm trying to play a 70-year-old.
Kliq, this is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver. Testosterone of 610. Producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2025, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, you want to do another one of these?
If I survive my stress test tomorrow.
Customer service never answers a thing. Cause the